it's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats.
Today we're diving deep into one of the craziest moments to hit the world of women's basketball recently. We're talking about a jaw-dropping altercation between a WNBA legend and a young WNBA superstar that's still sending shockwaves through the basketball community. So, how did Caitlin Clark expose DeWanna Bonner, and what does it all mean for the future of women's basketball?
I feel like I had a solid year, but for me, the fun part is I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, and I'm one that's nitpicking every single thing I do.
To understand how this rivalry took off, you need to know a bit more about the two powerhouse players in the middle of it all. On one side, we have DeWanna Bonner, a WNBA veteran who's been dominating the league for over a decade. Known for her tenacity, skill, and intensity, Bonner has earned her place as one of the most respected players in the game. She's a fierce competitor who brings everything to the court, from scoring to defense, and has no problem getting into her opponent's head.
And that bucket inside by the Sun. Oh, a little too much underneath defense.
DeWanna Bonner does not like being pushed to the floor. An emphatic reaction by DB.
On the other side, we have Caitlin Clark, the rising star, who's been lighting up the WNBA with her insane shooting range and bold playing style. Clark, a guard for Iowa when she was in college, has become known for her ability to score from nearly anywhere on the court. She's been compared to some of the best in the men's game, and for good reason. She's confident, talented, and ready to take on anyone. For her, this matchup against Bonner wasn't just a game, it was a shot at proving she could go toe-to-toe with the best.
Kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life, but I think the reason I decided to announce it when I did was just to have that closure.
The whole thing went down during a high-profile exhibition game that matched up NCAA stars with seasoned WNBA veterans. The buzz around this game was huge, with fans eager to see how young talent like Clark would fare against experienced pros like Bonner. From the very beginning, both players were in top form. Clark wasted no time putting her stamp on the game, draining long three-pointers and leading her team with that unstoppable confidence. Meanwhile, Bonner was holding her ground, making her presence known on both ends of the court and letting Clark know that scoring on her would not come easy. As the game progressed, it was clear that neither Clark nor Bonner was going to back down.
But you put DeWanna Bonner, who is 6'4", she's got great reach to chase Caitlin Clark around, to contest Caitlin Clark's shots.
It all started midway through the third quarter. Clark brought the ball up the court, poised to hit one of her signature threes. Bonner was right there though, and managed to block Clark's shot, sending her sprawling to the floor. But what Bonner did next? Think back to Allen Iverson stepping over Tyronn Lue during the 2001 NBA Finals. It's a move that screams, "I own this moment."
Do is, hold your head high, be proud of what you did, and, all the credit in the world to Ellis.
Clark, never one to shy away from confrontation, jumped up immediately. The two exchanged heated words, with neither player willing to back down. And then, in a shocking twist, Bonner gave Clark two hard shoves, sending her crashing back to the floor.
Caitlin Clark was assaulted yesterday in her very first playoff game in the WNBA. We've seen the animus directed at Caitlin Clark. No real discussion of it on the ESPN broadcast. ESPN wrote a story after the game that did not mention that the biggest star in the history of the WNBA, the first woman to ever be the biggest star in American sports, was assaulted 2 minutes into the game.
Clark, meanwhile, kept her cool in the post-game interview. She brushed off the incident, saying, "It's basketball, things get physical." But that wasn't the end of it. A few days later, she posted a cryptic tweet that only added fuel to the fire. Respect is earned, not given. She didn't mention Bonner's name, but the message was clear to everyone. Clark was calling out Bonner's lack of respect, and in a way, flipping the narrative. Fans rallied around Clark's response, interpreting it as her way of standing up to a veteran who couldn't handle the rise of a young star.
No, we recognize.
But will women ballers get the financial boost thanks to a rising star?
And we look forward to seeing how she can help us make the salaries.
Fighting some angry black lesbians, not her job, and it would lead to a collapse of the league.
Whether it's in another exhibition game or someday, it's clear this rivalry has only just begun.
I'm pretty sure the only people that view this as a rivalry is all of you. Like, for us, like, it's just a game of basketball. Like, that's what it is.
So, what do you think? Did Bonner go too far, or was she just defending her territory? And how about Clark's response? Was it a masterful move to expose Bonner, or just part of the game? Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want to stay updated for new content, make sure to turn on notifications.